The first strike, arrogance without fear. The galaxy had grown accustomed to human restraint. We were new among the stars, too civilized, the elders whispered, too bound by laws, too enamored with treaties and fragile alliances. So when the Vanar Armada descended on Helios IV, a human colony near the rim, they didn't come with hesitation. They came with laughter. The attack was swift and merciless. Orbital bombardments rained like divine judgment. Cities turned to glass in seconds, and comms were filled with the mocking voices of the Vanar generals. "This is the price of weakness," one commander broadcast. "Earth's children build farms where warriors should build walls. They were never meant to rule the stars." No plea for mercy was heard. The colony fell in hours, and as the embers cooled, the Vanar feasted and celebrated, convinced that humanity had no teeth. They were wrong. Celebration of cruelty. News of Helios IV's destruction echoed through the galaxy. The Vanar paraded their victory across neutral stations. Their soldiers painted murals of burning human cities. In cantinas and marketplaces, alien traders laughed and spat at Earth's flag as if it were a dead language. Whispers followed. The humans will file a protest. They will write poems about the dead. But war, no, they lack the will. To them, Earth was too cautious, too slow to anger, too bound by its councils and debates. And yet, there was one thing the galaxy had forgotten. Patience is not weakness. It is stored wrath. The silent gathering. For weeks, Earth was quiet. No retaliation, no counterattack. The Vanar mocked the silence, certain it was proof of cowardice. But far from the alien capitals, in hidden shipyards buried under Saturn's rings, in dry docks cloaked around Europa, in black sites floating beyond Pluto's shadow, humanity was moving. Dreadnoughts that had slept in the dark awoke. Engines that had not burned for a century flared to life. Old war prototypes, deemed too destructive for peacetime, were rearmed. The comms traffic changed. Frequencies once filled with laughter became quiet as alien sensors detected strange disturbances. Vast fleets leaving Earth's system, vanishing into FTL corridors like ghosts. The galaxy began to tremble. The symbol that broke the silence. It was on Cryali's station, where everything shifted. A gathering of diplomats had been called, an attempt to calm tensions before Earth made its move. The Vanar arrived in force, proud and loud, mocking even the architecture of the place. Among them was a young alien girl, a servant barely noticed by her masters. She carried trays, poured drinks, and listened to the jeers about humanity's weakness. And then I walked in. I wasn't a general, not a politician. I was a Marine, scarred, tired, and still carrying the dust of Helios IV on my boots. But on my chest was the old symbol, a patch most had forgotten. The insignia of Earth's first expeditionary corps. A symbol tied to ancient wars, whispered about in alien histories, feared but never seen by this generation. The girl froze, her eyes widened, then she bowed. Not to me, not to the man, but to the symbol. The hall went silent. Conversation stopped. The Vanar scoffed, but others remembered. Stories told by their ancestors surfaced, of the time humans had been provoked before, of fleets that had ended empires, of colonies that had burned not by alien fire, but by Earth's fury. And in that silence, the galaxy shifted. The response begins. Within hours, the first wave struck. Human fleets emerged from FTL like storms breaking reality apart. Where the Vanar had expected scattered patrols, they found armadas, black steel leviathans stretching across entire sectors. Comms lit up with a single message. You brought fire to Helios IV. Now Earth returns it. No quarter, no retreat. Entire Vanar shipyards disappeared in blinding eruptions. Their orbital defenses, once thought impregnable, folded in minutes before human rail cannons and kinetic strikes. Planets that had cheered their soldiers days before now went dark, their skis filled with burning wreckage. And still, this was only the beginning. The annihilation storm. Imagine a sun blotted out. That was how the Vanar saw it when the Eighth Fleet arrived. Tens of thousands of vessels moved as one, their formations so precise it seemed choreographed. Dreadnoughts, each the size of cities, unleashed weapons that split atmospheres. Swarms of unmanned hunter drones moved like flocks of steel birds, tearing through alien fleets with surgical precision. On the ground, drop pods rained like meteors. Human soldiers emerged, armored giants whose silence was more terrifying than any war cry. They did not speak. They did not boast. They executed. Every Vanar fortress crumbled. Every stronghold collapsed. Their generals screamed orders that dissolved into static as their fleets died faster than they could retreat. The galaxy watched. The arrogance of one attack on Helios IV had awakened something that should never have been provoked. The symbol above all suns. As the war burned on, the old symbol, the patch on my uniform, spread across the galaxy. It was painted on the hulls of dreadnoughts. It was carved into the ruins of Vanar palaces. It was broadcast on every frequency the moment a system fell. Not as propaganda, but as warning. The alien girl who had bowed on Cryali's station became legend. Stories spread of how even the youngest, the weakest, recognized the mark of Earth's vengeance before the war began. The galaxy understood at last. This was not just humanity fighting for pride. This was judgment. Silence after the fire. When the last Vanar stronghold fell, the galaxy went quiet. The war had lasted only 14 days. 14 days to erase an empire that had ruled for centuries. Where once there had been laughter at human weakness, now there was only fear. In marketplaces and cantinas, traders no longer spat at Earth's flag. They lowered their voices when its name was spoken. And the survivors, broken, scarred, wandering refugees, whispered one phrase again and again. Never provoke Earth again. The infinite patience, the infinite vengeance. Humanity did not stay to conquer. We did not raise our banners over alien capitals. We left silence and ruins behind, a warning carved deeper than any treaty could bind. The galaxy finally understood. Earth's patience is vast. We can endure mockery, insults, even loss. But when patience ends, when the fire is unleashed, vengeance is infinite. And somewhere on a ruined world, an alien girl still bows when she sees the symbol. Not to me, not to humans, but to the truth that shook the stars. We are not weak. We are the storm.